Hello everyone, this is Riccardo Masini and this is vlog. So this vlog is about Battles of Normandy, another great book wargame, one of those book wargames by Mike Lambo. Here I have another one which is Fields of Normandy. Fields of Normandy is a bit more tactical, okay, with smaller maps and smaller scenarios. Here we are something more like I won't say ASL, but Advanced Squad Leader. Of course it is not ASL, but it has a similar scale, a bit larger scale. With Normandy we are leading British forces, British and Commonwealth forces against the Germans. We have small groups of British forces which are regrouping inside in the countryside just after the landings, and there are some missions, and those missions are given in order of by level of difficulty, by difficulty level. That is, the first one is the easiest and the last one, we have I think 10 or 12 missions, is the hardest. But this is a book wargame. You all know them by now, which is a great medium. You have a few pages of a very simple rule book, and after that the maps with the missions, and after that you can write on those maps. You can use writable pens, you can use counters. I like to use wooden blocks of various shapes and sizes. Here cubes are infantry, circles are machine guns, and this octagon is a German half track, and not pictured here is a British Piat, and this is a Piat. It is, of course, everybody can see a Piat in an octagon. Anyway, very interesting system, very easy. It's a solitaire game, and there's a bot that is run by dice rolls, small tables that tell you what the Germans units do every turn. First of all, we have a variable setup. We generate a German company, and after that a British company with a point cost. Die rolls, they tell you which type of unit you can field, and then you detract the points from a total. Once you reach that total of points, you stop generating units, and after that there is, you see here with those numbers, there is a system of setup, of a variable setup. You roll 2 dice and you generate one of those numbers up here for the Germans, and then another die, and then you count that number of hexagons down here, and you generate the row where that unit has to be placed, the setup. So every time it is different. Same thing for the British, but the British are from down to up. They are going upward, so they are going upward on the map. I use this. Oh, and these green discs are for units that are in cover, but they can go in cover. There is this turn, you go on the turn. Every turn you can generate, in some turn, with the reinforcements. There can be German reinforcements generated by this table, and then you roll for an event, which can be a mortar fire, or a British unit takes cover, or another British dispersed unit regroups. So you have another rifle squad, but every mission has a different event chart. And then after that you roll for each of the German units, and you roll 2 dice, and you see each die generates an action, which is a move or an attack, and the same is made for the British. I won't go into detail how combat works, because it's very easy. You generate a target number and plus cover. There is no line of sight. Line of sight is abstract, just like in Undaunted, but unlike Undaunted, there is no automatic success. So it is, until the number is above 6, you cannot you cannot reach the target, you cannot destroy the target. You generate a target number, which can be, for example, this is for this. Let's say that this British unit fires against these German units. This British unit is firing at defense value. Best defense value of German unit is 0, but it is in a forest X, in a wood X. So it is plus woods plus 1. So it's 1, and there is 3 axes of distance or range 3 axes. So it is 3. 1 plus 3 is 4. We roll a die 4, 5, or 6, and the German unit is gone. 2. Okay, let's see. If the German unit fires back, it is the opposite, because in the turn the Germans act first, but it's not important now. Very simply, this German unit has an action to fire by the both priorities. They say, okay, I fire at this British unit, the best value of 0 plus 2, because it is a building, plus, no, this is not a building, it is a forest, that is plus 1, but plus another one because it took cover with an action, and so it is a plus 2. Range 3 plus 2 is 5. This British unit is destroyed on a 5 or 6. On 5, oh, plus. Bye bye, British unit. And there you go. First the Germans, each one is activated in a fixed order, and they can make those actions. And then the British, but the British are not. You are not free to tell them whatever you want them to go, or whatever you want them to do. You have also here slightly more flexible action and order system. So for example, okay, I activate this one, this British unit, you roll 2 dice, okay, 3 and 3, this is good because you can make or 2, you know, see here, 3, you can make or 2 moves, and you see there's a move or 2, so you can move up to 4 axes, or since it is a double, I swear these dice are not loaded, this is just by chance it is a double, you can fire with a mortar, but you have to be careful because the X is generated randomly. How is it generated? You see here, these row of numbers, 2 dice, 5, column 5, another dice, 3 dice, you see where it goes. 13, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wow, this is lucky because those 2 German units are attacked at each distance once with the die. This means that this one is 0 plus 1 to the distance 1, it is immediately eliminated. It is in the clear. This one in the building plus 2, so it has defense of 2, 6. This is eliminated as well. This has been very lucky. Every time I do videos, so I'm not playing, I get very lucky rolls, and so on and so on. What I like about this game, what I like about this game, of course, its simplicity, its portability, and its replayability, because there's a variable setup always, and the bots makes sometimes strange things, but never totally logic things. So it gives me a good opponent, and it gives me a good narrative. There are asymmetries. The artificial intelligence is not very complicated, but it's very easy to manage, and it is very calibrated. Different type of units do different things. MG teams are much more defensive, infantry goes on patrolling the area, and the half tracks just go up to you, and it's very difficult to destroy them if you don't have a Piat. There is also a friction element, which I really like, because even for your units you never know what you will be able to do. So for me it is very good, and after that it is very practical, very easy. It is training minutes, half an hour at the most for a scenario. So in a single night I can, essentially with no setup time, I can play it as many times as I want, at least 2 or 3 times. So it is very nice. It is very easy. Also the maps are very varied, the bridges and some rivers, and so really every mission feels different. This is good because the victory conditions, I forgot to tell you about the victory conditions. Well, the victory conditions is a problem, maybe an issue, because they are always the same. You just have to occupy both of those axes with red buildings, those are your objectives, simultaneously. You just not, okay, especially I control this X. No, you must have two teams, two units on those axes to win a scenario, and they're always the same. Anyway, there is variety, as I said, and the real question is, does it give me the feeling of playing a war game? Yes, absolutely. A very simple, very easy, very essential one, but a war game, a nice war game. This highly narrative, very fun, very nice. I like it. I just like it. It's just like fun and feels like a war game. Maybe possibly not too much of a simulation, but an honest war game. All these for a very limited price. Total. I told this to. I said this to Kilroy on his video, one of the other games by Mike Lambo. It absolute availability. It's very easy to find it. Which, if you're like me, you are not living in the United States. It is very important, because I can order it on Amazon and have it on the next day delivered here at my house without any trouble, and with a very good price. So, and for me, this is a very big advantage. So these type of games, they're growing, and I'm very happy, because for me, in my opinion, they are crucial for the growth of the hobby. Because I can tell anyone, if they know it, they just have to know to read in English, but it's also very easy English. Okay, buy this and play it by yourself, and you see what a war game is for a handful of euros, and this great. This is absolutely fantastic. Of course, they're not perfect. Of course, because yes, they are good games, even challenging a bit, but maybe on the long run a bit repetitive, even if every scenario is different every time you play it, because it is randomly generated. But it has a big, you always have to do the same thing. More than killing people, getting to those two axes. It is not easy. It is not easy. It is a bit more varied than Fields of Normandy, the previous Mike Lambo game on Normandy, because that is much more. Let me show you. That is much more smaller maps, much more tactical. But this has more types of troops. These are a bit more generic. But anyway, it worked. It's fine. And it's entertaining, even if it has some abstractions. We don't have tanks, we don't have armored units, even if it is not so difficult to make your own rules and create them. After all, you also have an empty map, so you can write on it and create your scenario. You can create your special units, your special rules. Speaking of rules, line of sight, maybe someone may say, it is like just like Undaunted, but without the automatic success. They work. They work much better. Anyway, I would have liked some alternative scenario with different objectives, like getting most of your units off the map, or avoiding the German, keeping the German from doing the same thing, escaping from the map, and so on. After all, this is Normandy. Those are typical Normandy game situations. Anyway, for me, a good game. Very easy, very portable, very quick, but also very essential. This is the essence of wargaming. Games like these, so easy, they take me back to the essence of wargaming. So for me, they are always welcome. They are always good games if they stay challenging, if they make you think, they give you decisions to take choices, and these games, they do exactly that. Sometimes there is a bit of a, I would like, a minefield effect. If you're my age and you ever played Minefield on Windows, sometimes the scenario go immediately wrong or immediately good just with a couple of turns. It is not easy. It is not it's not fun. It's not entertaining because everything goes bad or everything goes well. This is not so random, but there is a good random element, so this may happen. Don't worry, you just start over again in a couple of minutes and you play it again. This is the beauty of this system. So I really like it. I really like Mike Lambo's work. Mike Lambo has also inspired other authors, just like there's another one that I just got. Mike Lambo's made also one about Battles of Medieval Britain. It's very diverse, it's very different, a tactical wargame, battle wargame, but also Mike Lambo has inspired Patrick Rail, and Patrick Rail has recognized it for Ironclads, and another book is totally different system, but it is a bit more complicated. I'm going to study it, but it's very interesting about Ironclads in the American Civil War. Who can want more than an Ironclad in the American Civil War? It's total wargamer terrain, wargamer land. So these are good games. It's a good medium. I see a lot of authors that are using it very well to give us new offers, new titles, new very interesting titles, and a very quick, very essential, very down to earth wargame. What really a wargame is: playable. You can set up in 2 or 3 minutes, playable in 20-30 minutes, just by yourself, at your home, on vacation, on the train, on the plane, everywhere. Fun, fantastic. This is a good opportunity for me. This has been Battles of Normandy. This has been WLOG. As always, bye bye. See you next time. See you in the next episode. And as always, don't be scared. It's just war games. Ciao.